Hello there and welcome to this week's edition of Sports Clinic on Unilag TV. I'm your host Victor Adeomi and I'm joined as usual by Seun and our runaway host, Ayolo Wiley. You're welcome back to the show, AY.
It's good to be back here.
Yeah. Seun, you're welcome to the show once again.
It's a clinic and we want to cleanse ourselves with sports. So let's go there.
We want to dissect sports, so to speak.
Yeah, we want to cleanse our heart with sports.
All right. Now, if you remember on the last edition of the show, I said going forward, the show is going to be taking a new dimension, a fiery one to be precise. Well, today is that day that we kick off. But before going full throttle, we'll kick off with the sports mix segment, after which I'll be letting you in on what topic we'll be discussing. Let's quickly dive into the sports mix segment, shall we? I'll start with you, Seun. The last time on the show, we talked about the French Open, Roland Garros. Should Sharapova, will she have a wild card? And Federer as well. So let's start with Sharapova. Sharapova has been denied a wild card into the French Open.
Guidisselli is the president of the French Tennis Association.
Yep.
He said it was a difficult decision to make. He knew the fans and everyone was looking out for Maria Sharapova, knowing that a certain Serena Williams wasn't going to be there. She has to give back to her first child.
Yep.
But it was a tough decision. And he said they did it on moral ground, not on popularity ground. Because if you look at popularity ground, if there is no Serena, the next person you want to lean towards is Sharapova, who has won it twice at that ground.
So the Porsche tournament was more of emotional decision, probably.
Porsche was part of the sponsors of Maria Sharapova, and a lot of people castigated Porsche for doing so because she got a 2-year ban, but was suspended for 15 months, and then she came back. But they said they shifted the goalpost while the match has started, and they said wild card is only given to players who have been injured or players who are just coming up, not for somebody who was suspended for issue of drug ban.
Yes.
Even the Women's Tennis Association frowned at the decision of the French Open organizers for not giving Sharapova the wild card. But they said they have to take a stance. They apologize to the fans. They apologize to the media. They apologize to anybody who feels crossed that Sharapova was not given a wild card. And the whole thing became worse for her because immediately they denied her. She eventually pulled out of the Rome Masters against Lucy Baroni, a lady, because she was injured. If she had continued and she got to the semi-final of that Rome Masters, that would have given her automatic ticket to go for SW19.
So her decisions were not well informed, so to speak?
No, it's not that. It's because she pulled out because she was injured. If she had continued and she got to the semi-final of that tournament, she would have gotten automatic ticket because you needed to be ranked first 200 to get an automatic ticket, but she's ranked 211. But by pulling out in the second round, made the situation further difficult. Now she'll go and play a qualifying tournament to get into the draws of the Wimbledon tournament.
All right. To the male category now, Roger Federer.
Yeah.
For the second consecutive year,
yes,
I said it's not going to be part of the French Open as well. Now, a lot of speculation is that the change of surface, the weather condition, and maybe his body. But then, if he's world number one, is he?
He's not world number one. He's aiming to be world number. He's world number 5. But he talked about him wanting to play more years.
Yes.
In tennis, and the body cannot carry it anymore. And he had to be honest with himself. The last time he pulled out was because of injury, and remember that he was rested for quite a long time, and he came back stronger. He won the 3 tournaments that he took part in before he took that break, thinking he was going to come back for the tournament in the French Open.
Yes.
But because shifting from clay to grass is always very difficult, that's why he said he cannot do what other players are doing.
Okay, let me quickly chip this in. I mean, what has worked for Federer over the years is his ability to manage himself. I mean, he's not getting any younger, and he started out on fire this year. I mean, by winning, the Australian Open, and all that. And I remember after he defeated Nadal in the Australian Open, he told Nadal categorically, "I know you dominate on clay this year." So I think he already made the decision a long time ago that we've all known the clay hasn't been Federer's surface. Yeah. So why should you want to risk your year by playing on the surface you are not good on?
Let me ask you guys: Is he? Are you looking at the situation where he's looking forward to the
Wimbledon tournament?
Yes, where he's very dominant.
Because the truth of the matter is, once we are done with this clay court tournament, we are moving to grass
all year
long, and so there will be no problem for you anymore. Even Nadal, who is the king of clay, complain about switching from clay to grass. It's always very difficult because the gap between the French Open and Wimbledon is less than 3 weeks.
All right. Moving on. Let's quickly switch to boxing. Just over a fortnight ago, we're talking about Anthony Joshua and his win at Wembley when he defeated Vladimir Klitschko. Now we're looking forward to another major fight on the 2nd of July, precisely in Brisbane, in Australia. There's going to be another.
Geoffon,
exactly,
the school teacher,
exactly,
and Manny Pacquiao, the senator himself.
Exactly.
They've been training, but the school teacher said, "I might not have had the experience that you have in terms of fights and in terms of rounds, because if you have more fights than your opponent, it means you have lasted more rounds than your opponent."
Yes.
But he said it's an opportunity for him to rewrite the story. That there's nothing that is impossible. Impossible is no longer even in dictionary. They've cancelled it. If Anthony Joshua, who had less round of fights, had less number of fights compared to Mount Everest and Dr. Stilama in Vladimir Klitschko, could be beaten, he said, why can't he beat Manny Pacquiao?
Now, are we seeing a bit of a switch here, so to speak? Because Anthony Joshua was a people's favorite.
Yes.
All right, people supported him. Now Manny Pacquiao is a people's favorite. However, he's older.
Yes.
Right? Remember, Klitschko was older than Joshua, but he wasn't a favorite.
Yes.
And then the media pressure and everybody was in support of Joshua. Now that Pacquiao is the people's favorite, he's the older one. Do you see experience maybe?
Experience might prevail, but again, pressure might be on Geoffon because they are fighting in Australia, his own home ground.
Yes.
So the fans will be backing him, no doubt. 55,000 people. The larger part of it will be backing Geoffon. Whether he can withstand that pressure, because remember, Anthony Joshua said immediately he got that punch in the 6th round from Dr. Stilama.
Yes.
That they counted 8. What was in his head is, I must not disappoint 90,000 people who are at Wembley.
Yeah, at the same time, that could be the driving factor.
Yes, and it can also work against you. It can also, because it's boxing.
Yes.
Nobody will get into the ring. They give you punch and you cannot get up. You'll be beaten on your own home ground.
Right.
That's it. And quickly, Tyson Fury, who wants to fight Anthony Joshua, he has to wait for UKADA. That's a United Kingdom Anti-Doping Agency. You remember his license was...
There's going to be a hearing on the situation.
On the situation. So we might wait till October to know when his license will be returned so that he can start boxing.
He's sort of putting the cart ahead of the horse.
It's not too late. It's not too late. What would be cancelled for a fact is the fight he was supposed to fight in July.
Yes.
But the fight against Anthony Joshua in April next year, I think it's
but
still intact.
Remember that the situation is a drugs-related issue.
By October, we'll get to know. And if he's resigned and he's back to boxing, October to April is still quite a long of time. So he can get back to his best.
All right. So we wish, who do we wish, Manny Pacquiao, or who do we wish, Geoffon? Who do we wish the best of luck?
You said
anyway, this is July. We'll talk a bit more about the fight once the fight is.
We wish the two of them all the best.
Once the fight is coming close. We'll quickly switch to the United States of America, where the NBA playoffs is on, and then we're in the finals, right?
Yeah.
Conference finals. Exactly.
It's 2-0 between Golden State Warriors and San Antonio Spurs. But I've never seen Greg Popovich. You know, I told you, I said the guys in San Antonio Spurs are a bit aging, and that's why they play a basketball that we call pick and roll. Pick and roll is you just pass the ball around without dissipating too much energy. But Greg Popovich was very, very angry in game 1 right there at the Oracle Arena, home ground of Golden State Warriors, because there's a certain player of Golden State Warriors, Pachuca. He stepped on Kawhi Leonard, who is arguably the best player for the San Antonio Spurs, and immediately he left that game. They capitulated. So in the second game, they were also beaten. That was a blowout, 136-100, and the coach was seriously embittered. But for that injury to Kawhi Leonard, there was no way they will be talking about them going down by 2-0. Now they are going to AT&T Center. Golden State Warriors say to themselves, we can get one game.
True.
We get one game advantage because we need that home court advantage.
Yes.
But I know Greg Popovich will try to rally his boys to say the likes of Patty Mills, Lamarcus Aldridge, Tony Parker, and if Kawhi Leonard returns, guys, fight back to level this series so that we can go to Oracle Arena and then go and get the game.
I thought Tony Parker was out of the playoffs.
No, he will come back. He will come back. He's not completely out. But they cannot afford to go 3-0 down or 3-1 down.
The momentum undeniably.
Golden State, they've been flying.
Yes.
They've not dropped a game.
Yeah, they've been flying.
Yes.
But undeniably, the momentum is with Golden State.
Of course.
Momentum is Golden State.
They were the favorite going into this one.
All right, to the Eastern.
Yes,
he
started
last night
1-0 Boston Celtics against Cleveland Cavaliers. They were playing at the TD Gardens Arena, the home ground of Boston Celtics. I knew the Golden State, the the Boston Celtics had played too many games. In the previous game, he got to game 6. In the other game, he got to game 7 against Washington Wizards. So they have played more games than a certain Cleveland Cavaliers who were well rested.
Yeah.
So I knew Cleveland Cavaliers, they closed out the series. The first 2-1 that they played, 4-0, 4-0.
Yes.
So they were well rested. And I need the likes of Undumbe, Isaiah Thomas, Avery Bradley, Al Horford to come up big. Because if they allow this, they already have an home-court advantage. For them to have gone away to get one, they need to level the series and then go back to the Quick Loans Arena, the home ground of Cleveland Cavaliers, to get a result. If they don't do that, it's going to be a white.
LeBron even said after the game that the Cavs didn't play really well. So you have to worry for the Celtics team, because without the Cavs flying, they still had a 13-point game against the Celtics.
Yes.
So imagine in games where they play well. Because even last night, Ivan didn't really have a dominant game.
Yes.
It was all about LeBron. So imagine when the supporting cast play very well. I remember we arguing offsets, saying the Washington Wizards would give the Cavs a bigger threat
money
than the Celtics, and I think
who would you guys want to see in the final?
Of course, it's Golden State Warriors
against Cavaliers.
All right. As we round off this segment of Sport Mix, we quickly take it back home to the NFF. They said they spent
They're going to spend 1.7 or 1.6 billion naira in 2017. Yeah. You know what shocked me to the bone marrow, Victor? They broke down how that money is spent. The Nigerian Women's Football League, the women have been the most successful in terms of football. Yeah. They're going to be supporting them with 10 million naira. Wow. And then they said there's going to be a Veterans Champions Cup. And they're going to be sponsored with 30 million. What competition is the
Veterans Champions Cup? I've never heard of that.
I cannot just imagine. And that's the service that have been done to women football. They are the most successful. How many times have they lost the Nations Cup? Only twice.
But then the question is, what's the sports minister doing about all the situation?
You said the football minister?
The sports minister.
Is the football minister or the Super Eagles minister?
The Super Eagles minister.
Because even football does not matter to him. I've made so many references. What we do in Nigeria is lip service, and we are cycle fans. We are not serious at all. You want to name a street after Anthony Joshua, you want to name a stadium after him, you want to name street after him. But I made references to guys who have also done well, and they have not been given a look in. Wellington Jigere did well in Scrabble. We had Jack, who did well in kickboxing. We had Arno Kodri get to the quarterfinal of the Olympics, the first African to do so. We had Segun Torola getting to 7 Olympics. Those are not mean feats. Nobody's talking about them, but let's just leave that issue.
Let's just leave.
It's the Nigerian Football Federation. But in the league, maybe as we close out, it's going to start. It's going to resume week 20. What caught my fancy is Akwa United against MFM. It will be played at Soccer Temple Stadium in Lagos.
They're unbeaten at home.
They are unbeaten at home. So they get to win.
They have their hands full.
Yes, they get to win. They go back to the top, hoping that Katsina United do them a favor at home against Plateau United, who are tabletoppers, because Plateau are leading MFM with 2 points. But my worry is still the issue of the broadcast right.
Yes.
We cannot afford not to see our games live on television. We saw what happened between Gombe United and Rangers, where Emmanuel Fabi, the goalkeeper of Gombe United, was beaten black and blue by the fans, telling them that he engaged in match fixing, something that cannot be substantiated. So if you don't get to see our games live on TV, my word, Arun Mushanka. No two ways about it. It gives room for people to manipulate things, and we cannot call it a professional league when all of these things are happening. And I think the LMC should take up Gombe United for beating up their goalkeeper, because you cannot substantiate that.
But then the LMC's history of looking at issues like this have been...
It's always a slap in the wrist.
Is it really?
They were fined 3.25 million naira. Yeah. That's a slap in the wrist. Not up to amount that you can buy a Venza car. It's a slap in the wrist. For that kind of attack. You attack the opponent's team boss. Yeah. You beat up a goalkeeper. You attack almost everybody. And you're saying stadiums...
So a suspension from league duties would probably be a bit fair.
No, you know, it's difficult to get points.
True.
Take out points from them, and then they know how difficult it is. And then fine them heavily. Fine them 50 million naira. Something that will feel. They'll feel it. 3.25. Something that
let's leave that, and then finally on this segment, the Super Eagles are not going to France
after the game against Corsica.
Yep.
Which is an island. I don't know the importance of that game. Corsica you beat them 10-0, it will improve as ranking.
No.
They will just come back home. They will relax.
You know the funny thing is, this is the best. Have you heard of Corsica?
At all.
I just heard of Corsica after we just heard that they're traveling. I thought it was just an island, they camping.
It's just like somebody asking you that have you heard about a street called Ilele in Nigeria?
Are they in FIFA? Are they under FIFA?
For where now? How would they?
Anyway, the South Africans have released their list under.
They are going to release their list.
Okay,
so Baxter is their new coach, and he's talking tough. The last time he played against Nigeria, he was undefeated. He said that trend will continue. Baxter, they come Nigeria.
We'll see what.
Then you go no say, mommy is pregnant. It's different from mama don't get belle.
All right, it's time for us to take our first break. When we come back from this break, the fairy segment of the show kicks off. Welcome back to the show. As leagues around Europe wind down this weekend, there's little to look forward to. But in England, we know that the champions have been determined. Chelsea are champions. The three relegated candidates have been determined as well. Hull City, Middlesbrough and Sunderland. However, there's still going to be a fight for the fourth place, and that remains a live issue heading into the final round of games for the season. Chelsea and Spurs have already guaranteed 2 places out of the 4 Champions League places. However, Manchester City, Liverpool and Arsenal are fighting for the final 2 places in the Champions League. So I ask, who qualifies for the Champions League? We know, of course, it's Europe's elite competition. I still have AY and Seun with me in the studio, and they are going to be taking opposite sides. All right, I'll let you guys in to know what position Seun will take and what position AY will take. But we asked the fans who they think deserves to be in the Champions League for next season. Let's take a look into what the fans had to say.
Liverpool deserve to be at the Champions League. Now, these are my reasons. Well, all the times that Liverpool have been in the Champions League, if you notice very well, they've gotten to a particular reasonable stage in the Champions League. Now, for me, I don't want Arsenal to go there again. Reason is because if Arsenal keep going there, they keep getting their 7 barrage. So I think Liverpool deserves it.
Yeah, I think Liverpool will qualify for the top 4 because they've been more consistent than Arsenal, and they've played some fantastic football throughout the season, better than Arsenal. And as a Chelsea fan, I hate Arsenal. I can't wait for Arsenal to be out of the Champions League.
I'm an Arsenal fan, so I want Arsenal to finish top 4. Though the last match, Liverpool is playing Middlesbrough, and I think they'll beat them to bunkers. But then I want Arsenal to finish top 4 as a fan. But hypothetically speaking, Liverpool will finish most likely.
But for top 4, I go with Liverpool, and that's because Arsenal is not consistent this season, so Liverpool is better for the position.
All right, thank you, fans, for sharing your opinions with us. Now to the big one. I hope you guys are ready. You guys are too quiet for my liking. Come on, we're supposed to be fiery, right?
Let the thing start, then you know that we are not quiet.
All right, now Arsenal have been in the Champions League for 20 straight years. Now, a lot of pundits have been saying Arsenal will drop out of the top 4. They will drop out of the top 4. And then it seems they've been wrong, but seems that this year is going to be that year. Now, Seun says Liverpool deserves to be in the Champions League. AY says Arsenal deserves to be in the Champions League. Okay, so your opening statements. Let me start from you, AY.
Well,
Arsenal deserves to be in the Champions League.
I didn't say Arsenal deserves to be.
But
I
you
said
want
Arsenal will be in the Champions League.
Okay.
I mean, of course, going into the last day of the season, Liverpool have the momentum because they are ahead of Arsenal. But again, why should you trust this Liverpool team? This is the most inconsistent team in the league. I've always said Liverpool on their day will take any team apart in the league. But again, look at the points they've dropped. Look at the qualities of team they've dropped points to. This is a team that have blown the top 6 away. Yes. But when it comes to playing the little boys in the league, so to say, they somehow choke. Yeah. And I mean, this season at Anfield, you've seen them drop points to Crystal Palace, you've seen them drop points to Swansea. And so, who says Middlesbrough has got nothing? Who says Middlesbrough has got nothing?
Can you hold on to your sermon?
I thought you said it was let me finish.
It's an opening statement.
It's an opening statement. Is this a noise?
No, it's an opening statement. It's not an inaugural lecture.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's an opening statement.
Go ahead, Seun.
Thank you very much for giving me the audience, because this is not an inaugural lecture where people come and deliver sermon. So what we are just trying to say is Liverpool is the most successful team in England.
No, they are not.
The Champions League.
Excuse me, please. let me have my say.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the most successful team in England. And when you look at somebody who can represent you and represent you very well,
Yes.
you want to argue that it's Liverpool. And let me just correct people who don't know. Liverpool at home has just dropped point against two teams, Swansea and Crystal Palace.
Man United, they dropped points against Man United.
Okay.
I'm saying lost because they need them to lose.
No.
Swansea,
Not necessary.
Excuse me.
If Liverpool draws, you just told me. You I was giving an inaugural lecture.
Just give him 30
If you are arguing, let's argue with facts.
Let's give him 30
Can I have my say? Thank you. Point. Now, what I'm saying is they've only lost against two teams.
Okay.
Swansea and Middlesbrough.
Yes.
Okay.
The team that they are expecting them
Swansea, not Middlesbrough. They are playing Middlesbrough.
Swansea and Crystal Palace.
Because he knows they will lose to Middlesbrough.
Middlesbrough that they are hoping to do them a favor.
Okay.
Don't even come close to these two that they have lost against.
Okay.
On this note, that I'm talking to people who are highly intelligent, my wonderful viewers of Sports Clinic. I'm saying that
I'll take it from
Liverpool.
When all were battling relegation, when they were trying to survive, who ended their survival hopes? Sunderland has been relegated. One thing you should know is that this Middlesbrough team, they have nothing to play for.
Yeah.
They are out of the league already. They'll be playing the championship next season. So these are they won't be playing. They will not play. If Arsenal plays Chelsea now, they will destroy Chelsea. We know when it comes to chasing the top four. We know when it comes to chasing the top four. Nobody comes close to Arsenal. That is their bragging right.
Lukaku, all of them will want them to beat them.
Name one big team that Lukaku has performed against this season. Lukaku goes missing in big matches. This is an Arsenal team that has gone away to Southampton to pick up points. This is an Arsenal team that has beaten Jose Mourinho. This is an Arsenal team that in years they have not beaten Stoke City and they did it in 1 week.
It's all right. Now, point well taken. Good opening. Now, let's quickly look at the permutations. Liverpool's situation is pretty straightforward. Beat Middlesbrough and you're in the Champions League. All right. Now for Arsenal, it's a little bit more complicated. Of course, Manchester City will expect them to go to Watford and probably get a result. A draw or a win for them.
Let's not even get it twisted. Man City are done already.
They are done. Okay.
Man City don't even include Man City.
But then looking at Liverpool's history now, looking at of course Arsenal's performance in the Champions League had been pretty.
Those ones I was there performance.
They've always been in the round of 16.
In the last 7 years, round of 16.
They've been in the round of 16.
Who should
the
go
last time
again?
Liverpool in the Champions League, they dropped out of the group stage.
Because your child probably doesn't take first or second in school.
Yes.
Does that mean you should stop sending him to school?
Consistently 7th.
We don't care. If they go to the Champions League, who deserves to go to the Champions League?
Who deserves to be there?
Who deserves? At the end of the day, if Arsenal has the result against Everton,
yes.
I'm arguing from the point of.
You're talking about somebody who went to Champions League
who deserves to be there. I have not talked about who deserves to be there. I'm looking at the permutations. I'm looking at how inconsistent Liverpool has been this season. I'm looking at the Liverpool that has dropped points to Crystal Palace and Swansea when Swansea were struggling. I'm saying Liverpool. Can you trust Liverpool enough to get the full 3 points? They are talking about Everton. I always tell you, in 1 week, Arsene Wenger did what he had not done in years. He defeated Jose Mourinho. He went away to Stoke City to win. He went away to Southampton to win. It wasn't inconsistent. How will you say it was inconsistent?
Lukaku won Sanchez.
Mkhitaryan played. Mata played.
Lukaku won Sanchez to win the golden boot.
It's not about what Lukaku wants. It's about what will Lukaku bring that on the day. Lukaku has gone missing. Lukaku has gone missing against Man City. Lukaku has gone missing against United. Lukaku has gone missing against Liverpool. And now you expect that Lukaku to turn up again.
He's been found. He's not a cheaper person. He's been found. Just hold your thoughts. Let's quickly go on the last break. When we come back, we'll hear their final thoughts on should Arsenal or Liverpool be in the Champions League. Welcome back. We just had to take a breather. Now we are going for the final round. Who's going to knock who out? We'll find out. Seun says Liverpool should be in the Champions League.
Yes, rightfully they deserve to be there.
Deserves to be in the Champions
and I also deserve to start by ending. Yeah, because I'm at the head of Arsenal. So give me the respect I deserve, Mr. Moderator, sir. I deserve to speak before he says something. And I'll also end because I deserve to be there.
Fine, go ahead.
Now I talk based on facts.
Good. Let's
not just to come here and blab on.
Let's say your facts.
At home,
yes,
they've played 11 matches.
Okay.
They've won 5, lost just 2.
Yes.
Scored 42 goals. And considered 18. And they have plus 24. The same Arsenal.
Sorry, are you talking about Liverpool?
I'm talking about Liverpool. What concerns me with Arsenal?
Okay.
So I'm saying that they know, they smell blood. A West Ham that defeated Tottenham, they thought the West Ham will act as a clog in the wheel. They didn't chop 1. Yeah. They didn't chop 2. They didn't chop 3. They chopped 4. There was
West Ham were pretty pissed off.
There was no Firmino. Coutinho was in his marauding self. Sturridge was there. Origi was there. All these players will go and destroy Middlesbrough, knowing that only a win will guarantee them to play in the Champions League.
So Seun, you are saying
Liverpool will come. Congratulations for getting the final shot.
You wishing them. Are you telling them congratulations does not mean they will be there?
Yeah,
it is like they say in the local palace. Idajo Eseni. See, you just read that one fact that shows that Liverpool. I'm right. I'm the one talking about facts here. I'm the only one that's arguing based on fact. I've said it. Maybe you're forgetting the point that Liverpool don't have to lose. All they need to do is to drop points. This is a Liverpool team that has won what? You said 5 matches in 11. Oh, that doesn't show any consistency. They've dropped points against teams where you thought Liverpool would run over. Yeah. So why should you have the confidence and tell me and sit on this set and tell me they will run over Middlesbrough? This is a looking like a performance season.
Let me ask you.
Like I said when I was introducing. Like I said when I was introducing. If Liverpool decides to play their game,
yes.
No team in the Premiership can live.
So we don't know which Liverpool.
We don't know. That's the truth.
The Liverpool that will turn up is the Liverpool that turned up.
This is a Liverpool.
West Ham.
Liverpool that can be choked. This is a Liverpool that can be very erratic.
Everton at the Goodison Park.
There is nothing Everton. Let us see.
They will come to
the Arsenal versus Everton game is a dead rubber. The question is, can Liverpool?
It's not a dead rubber because Lukaku wants to win the golden boot.
Don't stop talking about Lukaku for crying out loud. What has Lukaku done against the top teams?
I'm saying on this set today.
Let me hear.
I'm saying on this set today.
We're running off the show now.
I'm running up and I'm saying if Liverpool fails to qualify for that Champions League playoff, I'll sweep the third Milan bridge.
You will sweep the third Milan bridge?
Yes.
Okay, then I will inform the last mile officials and the FIS officials so that they will reduce vehicular traffic on which day would you like? Monday, Tuesday.
Any day.
It will be next week Monday.
Any day you pick. Yes. And he also must tell us that Arsenal are not going anywhere.
Okay, but then you know the funny thing is it may not eventually just end up just straightforward like this because we could actually be seeing for the first time a playoff game.
Don't think it.
No, but let me go there. It could happen. It could happen.
It cannot happen.
Now look at let's look at this.
Have you heard this English?
Let's look at the situation.
Have you heard future impossible?
Is this a fair set? You gave him an opportunity to round up.
Before.
How about me rounding up?
We're not done. I'm coming back to you.
What permutation are you talking about?
The permutation is.
Let him say what you want to say.
Because why you say Liverpool? You say Liverpool deserves to be there. Does not mean Liverpool.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Now, Arsenal are relying on the lowest scoring team in the league to dream in favor away at Anfield.
Okay.
All right. Against a Liverpool side that just recently romped West Ham 4-0.
Okay.
Does that sound? Of course, we know that Arsenal are responsible for their situation, but then,
I would take you back to the. I will always take you back to the Sunderland versus Hull City game.
Yes.
This was a Sunderland team that had not scored away from home all year. They've only scored 1 goal at home all year. Yeah. What happened? They went away to
City, right?
Why? Because they were already out of. This is a Middlesbrough team that I know they won't be playing in the EPL again for at least 1 year.
Right on, Pastor.
They are coming there to spoil the party for Liverpool. And Liverpool have shown times without number that they can choke. Don't tell me that Arsenal will not beat Everton.
Peter Cech, the goalkeeper of Arsenal, has come out to say we appreciate the Europa League because in 2013 when I was in Chelsea we won the Europa League and the big incentive, you win the Europa League, you get automatic tickets.
Peter Cech coming out to say that doesn't mean Arsenal
of the club, right?
It doesn't mean Arsenal giving out. He knows better. One thing you should know is that
AY. Okay. Now it's time for us to shield our swords, all right, and keep it up for the next time. I just
No, the
I
sword
really
has to be
appreciate.
always guiding.
Of course, no, you can do that, but then we have to quickly round up the show. Now you can you have to come back with your thoughts next week because we're going to have. But then by that time, hopefully you will not have swept up Milan Bridge. Hope you have enough energy.
Hopefully.
I'll see you on Milan Bridge. I'm saying it. Let the governor listen to me. I'll see you on Milan Bridge.
Yeah, some people trek from Lagos to Abuja.
All right.
So.
Now that's all we can take for today. The argument continues on social media. Join us next time on the show.
Congratulations, Liverpool. Congratulations.
So you are rudely interrupting my round up on this
I'm
show.
sorry.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Now if I was a football god, would I want Liverpool to go ahead? Exactly.
Right on,
now, you know the funny thing about these guys, both of them are Manchester United fans. I'm surprised that one of them is actually rooting for Arsenal.
I mean, shows is a fake Man United fan. How you be rooting for Liverpool?
Thank you.
They are sworn enemy.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Liverpool, congratulations.
All right.
Congratulations.
Who deserves to be the Champions League? Sanchez or Origi? Who deserves to be the Sanchez or Origi?
All right, guys. Join us again next time on the show when we have these two guys and probably another guest to add more fuel to the issue. Have a lovely weekend, guys.